What up, Talkin Fight fans? Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week with yours truly, Mike Orr, and my man, Neil the Deal. Yes, we have a good one for you guys. A double knockdown spectacular. Khalil Coe, Buneet Bisla. Wow, first round, crazy, but ends in the fifth. Let's talk about it, Neil. What were your thoughts on this spectacular double knockdown between Khalil Coe? They both connected at the same time. Big right hand. Khalil Coe came out on top of that one.
Hey, good evening, Mike. Nice to see you again, buddy. Thanks a lot, Talking Fight fans here at the Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week. I'm glad to be here every week now with Mike, my best buddy here. Thanks a lot, guys, for likes, the shares, and everything. We're enjoying ourselves. And yeah, Mike, what a weekend of boxing. Overall, what a great weekend, was it not? And the knockout of the week, wow. Now that was pretty impressive stuff. Coe, we talked a little bit about Coe earlier on in the week. Other episodes, Mike's talked about him. I believe he was a knockout of the week before, and he did not disappoint, right, Mike?
No, he did not. After a 14-month layoff, he looked pretty good. Definitely came out on the better end of that double shot there, that double knockdown in that first round. And then, you know what, brought it to him the rest of the fight. And then in the fifth, was landing some really vicious shots. I know he dropped him once and kind of exploded his nose there a bit. That was a little worrisome for the corner, but he kept in the fight. Bisla, I'm not taking away nothing from him. Both these guys definitely, big warriors in that ring there. And, we gave it to him just because, Khalil Coe worked hard for that win. He really worked hard. He thought he had him in the first, ends up taking in the fifth. Big shots. The guy shows that he's a grinder. He knows how to stay calm. And, he brought it to him with his spectacular knockout that ended it. Definitely a serious barrage of punches, bunch of uppercuts landed right to the body, hard shots. It was vicious. It was a vicious cycle of shots that came in here, that ended with Khalil Coe taking out Buneet Bisla for our winner of the knockout of the week. Yep. But,
I like it, Mikey, just to let you know what I thought about that. That first round was awesome, was it not? And when they had that double connection, did you notice how he ended up with one knee on the canvas, but it was like he actually it was a devastating punch, and they both connected basically at the same time, but the one it actually knocked the other guy to his knee. It got up off a knee. It was like looking over, going, "Whoa, hold on here." That actually worked in my favor. So, and that was right off the hop. And then of course he took him down, and that was Bisla, he's our buddy here from British Columbia, Canada. We got to say, God bless you, man. You're a Canadian boy. We like him. And he gave it his all. He gave a great fight. Like, it was a great fight. And but of course, in the end of the day, Coe was the main event type of thing. And he did not disappoint. And I got to say, Mikey, you're always on these guys. You tell me a little bit about these guys. And always remember, Mikey Orr knows a lot about what's going down the pipe every day. So I'm looking out for Mr. Coe in the future, hey, Mike?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He could be moving up the ranks a little bit here.
Yes, he is. With that big win, that big stoppage, he's definitely making his way through this division, creating some waves. People are going to start to speak about this kid. Every time he's out, he's looking good, and he never disappoints. He always puts on a show, and he's not afraid to get in there and get dirty and get busy, which is what I like. Fighters that can get in there, who are not gonna gas themselves out when they smell that the guy's hurt and end up losing in the end because they're not protecting themselves. This kid, he's got that ability to sit calm, pick his time right, and unfortunately it took him to the fifth round to do it, but he got it done, which we're happy, and this is why he won
in spectacular fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in spectacular fashion. Like, I'm surprised that Bunett's corner didn't really, they could have thrown that towel in there early. He was taking a lot of punishment. Definitely good stoppage. Great fight. Our man Khalil Coe, the knockout of the week. But we do got to mention some.
Talk about a few more, Mikey. What do we got on the weekend? You started up. What do you got?
Let's talk about the big men. The big men. That was what was it? Kushmano versus Konecki. Is it Konecki?
Konecki, yeah. Adam Konecki.
Wow, look at these guys. Two two juggernauts in there just slugging the crap out of each other. One had one on the ropes, pounding him out. We thought it was done. Konecki comes back, starts delivering barrage punches of his own. It goes back and forth.
Giving it to him like
it was just going. Juggernauts in there. But let's be real. These guys are not top 20 contenders. They're not.
No.
They're good for a show. They're good to get in there and see a great fight. Which, let's be real, it was a good fight.
It's always fun to watch an OHL game, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. It definitely had the crowd on its feet. Crowd loved the Slugfest. Definitely Slugfest. If you guys get a chance, go check that one out. Kushmano, Konecki. It was a great fight. These big juggernauts. Just it's funny to watch. The slowness of those punches coming out, but they got power on those things.
Oh yeah. They were up in the 250-pound range. So you're getting hit with basically a cinder block in the beak, right?
Yeah, exactly. Also, Martinez.
Oh,
wow! Exploding the ear. Oh my God!
Was insane.
Wow, that was another fight. PBC put on a great event.
Give them a 2 thumbs up for the PBC. Good job, boys.
The Martinez fight. We had the Lubin fight on there as well. Early stoppage, people believe. They believe that his opponent did beat the 10 count. You guys can be the judge of that.
Hold on here. Can we just rewind a sec there? Did you actually agree with what I think, basically, that
I believe he beat the 10.
Really just waiting to get his 10. He went up at 9. He knows he's got 9.5. He looked clear as a bell, looked ready to go. Sure. But you know what? That was weird how that ref just went, no. And the kid looked at him and went, what? I'm fine.
Yeah,
like, really?
he was.
Newman jumped off the ropes and things. I don't get that, Mike. What's up with that?
Honestly, it's it's those things, man. Human error. What can you say, right? Like,
it was human error if I saw, because the poor kid looked at the ref like, why are you
maybe the ref maybe the ref saw something that we didn't. Maybe there was a glaze
in
the eyes. Maybe,
I saw that.
Who knows?
The kid looked beautiful. He looked like he was ready to roll.
The fight was a good one. And then we had Dami.
He's been knocked down in his career or something of that sort. They said, man, he was fine. Like, he really looked fine to me. Like, he was not wobbling. He took his time. He composed himself. He did everything what you should do as a fighter. He created exactly what he wanted. He stood up at 9.5 and looked him right in the eyes, and the guy waved him off. And I was like,
other than that being a controversial stoppage, even though it was a controversial stoppage, it was a good fight back and forth all around.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
PBC putting on a great.
I think there was more to that fight. If that went on, Mike, that would have been pretty interesting.
Honestly, it probably would have went. It probably would have went the distance, and it could have had a big turnaround. Definitely.
That was something that there was like a je ne sais quoi in there. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Then we got Adames. Is everything that I expected. Everything I expected from him. Pressure fighter. Swarming. Definitely playing those angles. Big shots to the body. This kid, he knows what he's doing. He's one of these guys that's just climbing the ranks. People are only starting to get to know him in the last couple of months. From the beginning of this year, really. This kid's got a lot to offer. He's going to make a lot of waves in the division. He's definitely one to be watching out for. Definitely, he is going to be
Williams, that was a great fight, though. Like, Williams put up a valiant effort. I mean, being the ex-unified champion, you know what I mean? He wasn't fighting no bum. Put it that way.
No,
but I know that at the end, as after the post was done, the post fight conference and stuff, he was a little bit concerned about Williams. Adames, thought he might have, they should have maybe, like, he was really hurting him in the end. But it was balls to the wall the whole way, right?
I was more concerned about Bornu's big giant exploding ear. That was
ear thing was like, what the. Let's get into Yankiel now. What about my boy Yankiel? How'd you like his display, Michael?
Let's hear yours. Let's hear your thoughts on him.
Yankiel Rivera, he's 4-0 now. Took him down. It was a unanimous decision, 8-rounder. He basically schooled him like 117, 108, 117, 108, 116, 109. So he did actually run the board on him. Yeah. And the kid was a valiant effort. The kid he was fighting, I forget his name, but Rivera, he's got to get these fights under his belt. These little bit of, like, not these 1-round knockout things or these 2-round.
No, exactly.
He needs a few more real rounds, right? So I thought it was great for him. I think he had a great performance considering the circumstances. And I'm looking at him going forward, that Puerto Rican kid, Yankee. Oh my God. I think he's gonna be a one to look out for in that division.
Definitely. Shout out to Rashad Mati with a brilliant performance. The Albanian Bear, right? Like
the Albanian Bear is back in town.
Wow. Shout out to Rashad Mati with his wonderful TKO victory. Honestly, fire performance from him. He looks better every single time he's out. Definitely a prospect coming up in the game. One to watch, guys. Rashad Mati, remember that name. The kid was a championship kickboxer. He's got a shed full of belts at his house from what he's told us in the interviews. The kid's a world champion. He's been a champion since,
Good friend of yours, Mikey boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and he's definitely showing that he's made for these paid ranks. Big performance from him. But we mentioned all these guys, but it's not to take
the last one I think, Mikey, we're going to talk about is Berlanga, right? Berlanga.
Yes. Edgar Berlanga.
No, we got Ioka too.
Oh wow, Ioka.
And Franco decided to retire, apparently.
You know what, Ioka, those Japanese guys, man, that low division is definitely going to be stacking up with these Japanese
they're just giving it
champions.
Like this, those guys.
You got the Inouis, you got the Iokas, you got the Nakatanis, you got all these guys that are coming in and just taking over these small divisions, man. Japanese boxing is a very disciplined sport over there. It's one of those sports where you could go and watch these fights, okay, and not a single sound is happening during the fight.
Oh, they're like it's like you can hear a pin drop in the friggin'
You can hear a pin drop. You can hear a mouse fart. Honestly,
it's kind of like the Maple Leafs now when they play hockey.
Yeah, everybody's sleeping.
Not back in the 70s. You couldn't even. You probably get hit with a beer bottle from the Grays or something, right?
Definitely.
No, but Ioka, a great display in the number 2 fight there in his basically his home country.
Yeah.
And it went all the way basically. So it was a really good fight. I was really impressed. I'm surprised that Franco's decided to tie up the boots and take off the boots or whatever you want to call it. I was kind of surprised. He had a great effort. So we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, I know that I checked it out, Mikey. Nanoya is actually fighting in July.
Yeah.
And he's looking for 2 more belts.
Oh yeah, the monster.
4.
The monster.
So that'll make 6.
Yep. And his brother just captured
belts. What?
His brother just captured one of his old belts, so
that's it. So that family's really rolling and rocking there in Japan.
Definitely.
We love you guys in the Noya family. We know the Inouis. Come on now, show us what you got over there, guys.
Deep heritage of boxing in Japan.
They're leading
brought over in the early 1900s from a master that decided to travel to the U.S. to study it back in the 1800s, late 1800s, to bring it back to Japan in the early 19s. And the gyms over there have produced many world champions. So you can't sleep on Japan. Definitely, there's a lot of these small guys that are coming up out of these gyms over there. And honestly, great fighting.
And we're keeping our eye on them, right, Mike?
Exactly. That's what I got. I got my eye on these guys.
Keep our eye on you guys.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so Mikey, we're going to talk about Berlanga, right? And then we'll lift it up. Sunday night, everybody wants to get out, have a little barbecue, whatever they're doing.
It went the distance.
Kind of surprised there myself.
Yeah, he got dropped.
Yeah, but he did smile about it and was kind of like clapping. Remember?
Yeah, he clapped. He did clap.
He was like, "Oh, that was pretty interesting. I like that."
Hey, you know what? I gotta give it. I gotta give it up to my Irishman. You know what I mean? Like, I got it. Definitely
nails that quickly. He got a bit of a pummeling, as you could see.
Yeah.
He didn't look so pretty, and Berlanga was kind of impressed by the fact that he actually, after that, what he was doing to him, basically kind of rolling him, came over the top and actually caught him. And he was kind of shocked from the catch, right?
Yeah.
That's why he smiled. And he kind of gave him a kudo there. I thought it was like, hey, man, we know what's going on here, but that's good on you, man, to actually give it your all almost. Even when you're like out of the fight, you're still trying to knock the guy out. You know what I mean? I like that. It was good. But I wasn't really too impressed with Berlanga's performance. I figured he needed a spectacular performance. He did not come up with that spectacular performance.
No.
He basically, that's going to hurt him going forward. He even expressed it before the fight that he really needed to come out. That way he can maybe get a shot at Canelo. but it ain't gonna happen after that display. I don't know. You know what I mean? Canelo,
we do need to see him in front of some really good talent. You know, like,
how much bigger does it get than that? You can't come out with your A game, like, really, guy.
well, no, it's just has he really been tested? You know,
That's it.
He's got a lot of wins
21
under his belt.
but has he really
been
got
tested?
3 or 4 guys above him that those are the tests.
Exactly.
And if he thinks he's going to get in there with those cats, he might get clawed to pieces, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. Well, that is that's I guess all we're going to talk about today on this episode of the Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week. Double knockdown spectacular. Khalil Coe, Buneet Bisla, KO of the week. Our man Khalil Coe. Congratulations. Shout out to all the runners up. Shout out to all the fighters that we talked about. You know, great performances, guys.
Thanks, guys. And great cards this week, eh, Mike? The PBC
honestly,
the cards were great.
PBC stepping up their game, definitely putting on some great matchmaking.
The Zone had a great lineup.
Set your PVRs for that. You know, while you're watching those pay-per-views, set your PVR for those PVC fights because they're great, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely, get the PVR cooking so you can watch them over and over and over.
Exactly.
It's you know, I gotta say to the promoters, guys, keep them coming. We know we had a little tidbit quick, Mike, before we end it with that Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence thing. You know, we talked a little bit about it, and you look at the cards that came out this weekend. Now those are bona fide big time cards. Yeah. So it kind of is confusing to all of us here at talkinfight.com that when you have a fight the size of a Terrence Crawford and an Errol Spence Jr., that you're not bringing in like a double whammy. Like even a big woman's fight, you know what I mean? Like
they're hoping that this fight makes $1 billion. Come on, man. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for. They're hoping they got their hopes up there. You know, hoping to make that big money. You know what? It's a fight that's got to happen. You know, it's almost happened a few times. Let's just get to the friggin' fight. Let's get to the fight before we start talking about it. Let's see press week. Let's see the weigh-ins. Then we'll see the ring walks, and then everybody can talk about it. Because until then, it's just nonsense. Because it's been happening and happening over and over again.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not even going to talk about that fight until I know it's fight week, and then I will give you my 2 cents on everything. But until then, there's no point because it ain't happened yet.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Well, guys, nothing's happened. And even Mr. Tim Witherspoon, 2-time world champion here, WBA heavyweight champion here at talkinfight.com, talked a little bit about that. It is an offensive kind of fight, looking like these guys, they got to kind of, you know, get a little more defense maybe, you know, so we'll see what happens.
It'll be a lot of feeling out. Let's say that.
A lot of feeling out.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
But, guys, thanks for tuning into this week's episode of the Knuckle Up Knockout of the Week, man. We'll see you next week. Same time. Well, no, maybe not the same time, but definitely the same channel. New knockouts. Guys, sometimes it takes us a long time to, deliberate over these knockouts to pick the right one because, you know, sometimes there are a lot. Sometimes there are some that just are lackluster and not deserving. But, yes, guys, bear with us. We will try to keep this on track at the same time because consistency is everything. So, guys, we'll see you next week. Sunday, new knockout. You know what it is. Knuckle up.